Please welcome Ruth Kleinpell, President of the Society of Critical Care Medicine.
Good morning, and welcome to sunny San Antonio. It's such a pleasure to be here with you to learn, engage, and discuss ways in which we can further improve care of our patients. When you joined the SCCM community, you became part of a grassroots, mission-focused network of diverse individuals all working and sharing to improve care on a global scale. While SCCM is a relatively small healthcare organization, we have an oversized impact worldwide on patient outcomes. As you saw in the video this morning, SCCM truly is the globally connected organization envisioned by one of our founders, Dr. Peter Safar, when in 1974, he challenged us to become a truly international society whose members are proud of being world citizens. Today, we are proud, very proud, to work together with colleagues and partners of all types to improve the care of the sickest of all patients. To do this effectively, SCCM has official representatives with over 40 leading healthcare organizations and government agencies. We also count strong partners in almost every regional, national, and international critical care organization worldwide. For example, this past year, we worked closely with the World Health Organization to improve maternal and newborn sepsis outcomes, and we are very happy to welcome Dr. Arthur Kwizera from Uganda, who will lead us in an important discussion of this topic tomorrow in Hemisphere Ballroom C1 at 3:15 in the afternoon. Last November, a group of 14 passionate members, led by John Sampson and Luis Donpierre, brought together over 200 healthcare providers from 45 countries across Africa. Our goal was to train them in SCCM's fundamental programs so they could return home better prepared to care for their patients and to teach others what they had learned. It's this sharing of information that makes our community so effective and exemplifies the impact of our global reach on local care. In Rwanda, another SCCM task force continued their work to learn how we can best improve sepsis care in local communities with limited resources, so that this new knowledge can be used to improve care of patients in other resource-limited settings worldwide. Knowledge flows in all directions across our global network. Our Chinese colleagues brought the SCCM current concepts and board review courses to ICU clinicians from all over that country, and our colleagues in Japan, Iran, and Spain held their first SCCM ultrasound courses. And as we continue to have a shortage of trained intensivists worldwide, our fundamentals programs like FCCS were held for the first time in Ethiopia, Guatemala, Pakistan, Thailand, and other countries where this training is badly needed. Additionally, your colleagues work diligently to expand the fundamental course content to include special programs on tropical diseases and care of the obstetrics patients, which launched here in San Antonio this week. In addition to the acute care setting, FCCS and PFCCS courses also expanded to train flight medics and EMTs in the United States, and the FCCS program was recently introduced nationwide in long-term care facilities. Overall, nearly 20,000 individuals were trained in our fundamental programs in just 12 short months. That is such an accomplishment. And these are just a few examples of the impact your colleagues and your society have on patient care globally. However, this is only possible because of our network of diverse members and partner organizations who work collaboratively to achieve these significant results. As your representative during this past year, it was my pleasure to meet members during SCCM chapter events across the United States and to travel the globe to share information and discuss how we can do even more to impact care. I came away from these meetings with a new appreciation for how much it truly does take a diverse, grassroots effort connected to a global community to make significant improvements in patient outcomes. This was once again evidenced when Hurricane Harvey struck portions of Texas and Louisiana and inundated the area with flooding, with what was to be the beginning of a devastating hurricane season. SCCM activated its emergency response protocol, which was developed back in 1991. When I asked some of our past presidents why we had developed this capacity, which is unusual for a typical medical association, I was told that the general sentiment was that sending our thoughts and prayers really wasn't enough, and that as an organization, SCCM and its passionate members could do much more. Since 2001, when the Society mobilized a response to the terrorist attack in New York City, SCCM has activated the system over 20 times and channeled member volunteers across the globe to help those in greatest need during times of crisis. For example, during this past year, 160 pediatric ICU nurses and 35 physicians answered our targeted calls for volunteers to provide care during the Texas floods. Additionally, more than 300 volunteered to travel to Puerto Rico when Hurricane Maria struck. In 2005, we expanded our capacity beyond volunteer recruitment to include working with our vendor community to donate medical supplies to ICUs that were impacted by disasters. And last year, our vendor community responded by sending thousands of medical supplies to Puerto Rico, while yet others donated significant capital equipment, such as ventilators, portable cardiac monitors, and pediatric patient warmers. Please join me in thanking Allied Healthcare Products, Edward Life Sciences, Getting, Hamilton Medical, La Jolla Pharmaceuticals, and Philips Healthcare for their generous donations. And this year, our capacity once again expanded when a critical care nurse, who also happens to be the president of the Critical Care Society in Puerto Rico, asked if SCCM could get non-medical supplies such as diapers, baby food, clothing, and other items in great need to the island's pediatric hospitals. We explained that we had not attempted this previously, but that we would try. And as in every effort before, the SCCM community responded in force, donating thousands of items through SCCM's Amazon's wish list. The effort was successful beyond our hopes, and our headquarters staff worked nights and weekends to keep up with the volume of donations. To ensure this generous outpouring of gifts made it to where need was greatest, our Congress logistics company, GES, shipped the items for free, and our CEO of 17 years, David Martin, went to San Juan and met with key SCCM leaders, including Gloria Rodriguez and Marilia Diaz. There, they worked to organize the distribution and see what else could be done to help. Please join me now in welcoming Gloria and Marilia to the stage to thank them for championing this effort gosh. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Why should you get in the middle? Great. Thank you so much. I would be remiss if I didn't also mention that some of our colleagues lost their entire homes in the storms, but still reported to work to save lives. Others worked double and triple shifts to care for the increased patient load, whether from natural disasters or man-made tragedies, both here in the United States and abroad. Throughout the year, we received numerous reports of the heroism, dedication, and sheer will demonstrated by our members when the need was most acute. Today, I want to ask all of you who were affected by these events to stand. Yes, those of you from Texas, we know that you're here, Louisiana, Florida, please stand. Puerto Rico, please stand. Come on, Las Vegas, London, Iraq, the Philippines, Iran. Stay standing. Really, everyone that was caught up in these tragedies, whether natural or man-made, please stand. Now, all of you who answered our call for volunteers, please join them in standing. Come on, I know you're here. And if you donated supplies to our pediatric hospitals in Puerto Rico, please stand. And also, if you made a cash donation of any size for any purpose to SCCM this year, because it's your generosity that gives us the resources to respond when disasters strike. And in 2017, you donated nearly $300,000 in cash, a new SCCM record. Wow. Look around. What an amazing, diverse group. Doctors, nurses, pharmacists, scientists, physician assistants, and so many others from across the nation and across the globe. Your extra efforts during this past year deserve our utmost adoration. Thank you so much. While we know that our multi-professional teams work hard to save lives, we also understand that it takes more than just us to get the best outcomes for our patients. So it's my honor to also congratulate the 63 ICU teams that completed implementation of SCCM's Patient and Family Engagement Project through SCCM's first PCORI Award. Let's have an applause for them. Additionally, I also want to specifically recognize our patients and their families who joined with us to ensure the best possible outcomes are achieved. Today, I am so proud to call to the stage two groups of patients, families, and their ICU care teams who exemplify this partnership and whom we are proud to present with this year's SCCM's ICU Hero Awards. The first awardee hails from Tennessee Valley Healthcare System VA Medical Center. Ralph was hospitalized for 22 days, 15 of which were in the intensive care unit. He had a steroid-responsive, unspecified, idiopathic interstitial pneumonia complicated by hypoxic respiratory failure requiring prolonged mechanical ventilation. Ralph, his family, and the ICU care team are an excellent example of the power of multi-professional care exercised through implementation of the ICU Liberation Program. The team rounded daily with his family to help them remain engaged in the recovery process. With ICU open visitation, Ralph's wife and son could visit often and provide him valuable support during the recovery process, as well as assist the team in knowing how to best support Ralph. He began walking on the unit while he was intubated, which helped him feel more in control of his recovery until he could be safely extubated. While on the unit, an ICU diary was completed for Ralph. He shared that initially he was hesitant to look at the diary, but once he did, he found that the entries helped fill in the gaps from what he could not remember from his time in the ICU and how encouraging and positive the staff entries were. Ralph attends the Nashville Veterans Affairs Hospital ICU Recovery Group, which is a weekly peer support group for both ICU survivors and families and caregivers. Please join me in welcoming Ralph, his family, and his ICU care team to receive the ICU Hero Award. Thank you so much. What a great team. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you again. The second award winner comes to us from the Weill Cornell Medical College Pediatric Intensive Care Unit in New York City. Jake, who is now 7 years old, was 4 at the time he was admitted to the Pediatric ICU. He was hospitalized for 101 days, of which 99 were in the ICU. Jake was previously a healthy 4-year-old boy who developed hemolytic uremic syndrome after eating a hamburger. He presented with gastroenteritis and rapidly progressed to acute renal failure. Initially managed with bedside continuous veno-venous hemofiltration, he later developed peritonitis and bowel perforation with severe septic shock and acute hypoxic respiratory failure. He underwent a 4-stage surgical repair with open abdomen, ostomy, and mucus fistula. During his prolonged ICU stay, he experienced delirium with active hallucinations. He received intensive multidisciplinary rehabilitation during his pediatric ICU stay and was ultimately discharged to home with his family. From day of admission to day of discharge, Jake's stay in the ICU represents the epitome of multi-professional care. Intensivists, subspecialists, nurses, therapists, and family members all working together as a cohesive team throughout a long and tumultuous ICU stay. Jake's mom participated in rounds every day. When he developed delirium, she became an active partner for non-pharmacologic delirium prevention methods. She engaged in therapeutic touch, brought in familiar items from home, made mixtapes of Jake's favorite music, and read him bedtime stories. Jake's dad was expert at encouraging him to sit up and play, even when mechanically ventilated. He also worked with Jake's physical and occupational therapist to motivate Jake to get out of bed and participate in exercises, even though Jake was tired and scared. The true hero of this story is, of course, Jake. This young boy demonstrated courage, resilience, charisma, and charm. Despite daunting odds, he persevered. And as he improved clinically, he became determined to control his environment as much as possible. When given age-appropriate control, he thrived. Please join me in welcoming Jake, his family, and his ICU care team to receive the ICU Hero Award. Thank you so very much. We really appreciate you coming today, okay? Great, and thank you to your sister. Thanks so much. Please join us for the ICU Heroes reception today at 9:30, right after this, across the hall in room 301 BC. While we're speaking of patients and families, I also want to mention our newest activity, which you may have seen here in San Antonio. Yesterday, local citizens participated in our Save a Life public health program to learn how to help a loved one when a critical health event occurs. We trained the public to do hands-only CPR and provided education in recognizing a loved one who may have become septic. In partnership with Brooke Army Medical Center, we trained them to stop the bleed and taught them how to help themselves or a family member recover after a long ICU stay, plus much more. Many local partners joined with us in this activity, along with student and member volunteers led by SCCM Secretary Heather Lee Bailey. For their many efforts, let's give them a big round of applause. From my many years working on a wide variety of projects for SCCM, it's been my pleasure to serve alongside so many of you who have achieved so much in your efforts to improve patient care. So today, it's my pleasure to recognize another very special individual, Dr. Tom Bleck, who is the winner of this year's SCCM Lifetime's Achievement Award. Now you have to come here because you have to listen to all this. Tom is professor of neurological sciences, neurosurgery, internal medicine, and anesthesia at Rush University Medical Center, where he is a neurointensivist and the director of clinical neurophysiology. From 2009 to 2015, he was the Associate Chief Medical Officer for Critical Care. He recently served as the Interim Neurology Residency Program Director. In the late 1980s, there were 3 neuroscience ICUs in the United States. Tom was recruited from Rush to the University of Virginia in 1989 to establish the 4th one. These units form the nucleus of the burgeoning subspecialty of neurocritical care, which now boasts 66 accredited training programs and hundreds of units. This growth led to the creation of the Neurocritical Care Society in 2002, with Tom as its founding president, and still serving as an ex officio member of their board of directors. He has trained 31 neurocritical care fellows, most of whom are practicing neurointensivists, along with so many critical care fellows from other specialties. He has also helped to develop the field of ICU EEG monitoring and has trained numerous clinical neurophysiology fellows. At UVA, he became a professor as the Louise Naranci Eminent Scholar in Neurology. From 1992 to 2015, he was the neuroscience section editor of our journal, Critical Care Medicine, and is currently an associate editor. He also serves on the editorial boards of the Neurocritical Care and Annals of Intensive Care. He served 12 years as a member of the SCCM Council and received the Master of Critical Care Medicine recognition in 2015 from the American College of Critical Care Medicine. His research interests include subarachnoid hemorrhage, intercerebral hemorrhage, head injury, status epilepticus, infection, neuromuscular respiratory failure, and ICU management of the organ donor. He has been involved in therapeutic temperature modulation research since 1999. He has published 185 papers, 131 abstracts, and 185 books and book chapters, and has conducted more than 535 national and international visiting appointments and lectureships in 29 countries. Tom is board certified in internal medicine with subspecialty certification in critical care medicine, neurology, with subspecialty certifications in vascular neurology and epilepsy, clinical neurophysiology, and neurocritical care by both the United Council on Neurological Subspecialties and the Committee on Advanced Surgical Training of the Society of Neurological Surgeons. As is evident, Tom Black is a true leader in the field of critical care medicine, a consummate teacher, educator, practitioner, and mentor. He exemplifies the qualities requisite of the Lifetime Achievement Award. Please join me in applauding his significant achievements. Congratulations, Tom, truly. Please plan to join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. in the ballroom from Tom's presentation of Critical Illness Affects the Brain and vice versa.
Well, thank you, Ruth, and it's a great honor to receive this from the Society. Ruth has been a great colleague and friend for the last decade at Rush, and I've really been honored to work with her. It gives me special affection to accept this award because the first winner of this, Roger Bone, was my main mentor in critical care. I'll tell you more about Roger this afternoon. When I was invited to the University of Virginia to start the neuro ICU there by Fred Wooten, he wanted me to develop a world-class unit for neurological research, education, and patient care. I was welcomed with open arms not only by the neurologists, but also by John Jane and Neil Cassell, neurosurgeons of great skill and renown, who really helped me to build a multidisciplinary and multi-professional unit. I was welcomed with open arms by John Truitt and Charlie Durbin, who are here in the audience, who really showed me the ropes and helped make my experiences in Virginia really, truly wonderful. I'm also proud to have trained many great fellows, some of whom are leaders in the Society here, including Shirley Chang, Javier Prevencio, and Paul Vespa. It wouldn't be a complete recognition without, of course, telling you about my family. My son Jordan, his girlfriend Erin, and my daughter Holly are here, and they are the recipients, of course, of many late hours of me working when I should have been home with them. I also missed a lot of horse shows and soccer games, and they really tolerated all that with perspicacity and charm. And of course, my most important partner in all this, my wonderful wife, Laura Friedland, who's truly the love of my life. So. All right. So thank you very much for this great honor.
Thank you, Tom. Congratulations.